Hey guys, you already know what it is. It's another episode of Dale's a Crowd podcast. Thank you to Phil for editing this. Actually, you know what? I edited this. I'm going to take credit. I did all the work. I do all the work. I am the best host ever. Yeah, that's right. Fuck you. Anyways, we get to talk to my lovely girlfriend Campbell as we ramble onto literally everything except for the topic we had planned for her. How about you just listen to the podcast and you'll find out for yourself. Thanks for listening.
Oh, are you going to go?
Oh, yeah, I can go.
Well, that's the intro now.
Yeah.
It's just the few seconds of silence and then just, so who's going?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, guys, welcome back to Dale's a Crowd. It's one of your hosts, Rolan.
And, I mean, you already know the bit. I'm the best one. I, for sure, don't, like, Roland probably wears my clothes when I'm not looking, and it's like, I wish I could be Phil. Hi, I'm Phil.
I love how you paint this picture of me.
I'm going to continue and build this story throughout the generations of this podcast. Eventually, you're just going to be like a younger brother to me.
I remember one time I made that analogy. I was like, Phil's like my younger brother, you know? I care about him. Like, I want to see him move up and stuff. And I remember you going to say something like you're going to be offended. And you're like, I mean, yeah, but...
No, I mean, like, I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I am, like, a younger brother, but,
yeah,
you know, it's whatever.
It is. It is what it is. What have you been up to, man?
I've been rewatching the Pirates of the Caribbean series.
Yeah?
Dude, the first Dale, just, like, if it stopped at that trilogy, would have been absolutely fantastic. Would have been probably one of the greatest movie series of all time.
What?
And they made the other two.
What are the other two? I don't even remember.
So On Stranger Tides is the fourth one. That's where they have Ian McShane as Blackbeard, trying to find the Fountain of Youth. And then the fifth one is where they have Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
He is Capitan Salazar.
Yeah, that's with, like, young Jack, right?
Yeah. He's in it for, like, 2 seconds. You keep talking about it like it's, like, a big thing. It's like nothing in that movie. The big thing in it for me is that Jack the Sparrow is said like every 15 seconds.
I don't know. I only watched the trailer and I just saw young Jack and I was like, oh shit.
Nah, it's in it for pretty much just that bit.
That's disappointing. Okay.
You know what I've learned though? I've learned two things from that series.
Okay. Can I say? No, you go. You go.
Okay.
It's only polite.
Thing number one. Jeffrey Rush, he plays Hector Barbosa.
Yes.
Amazing choice. Barbosa is the best character in the series, hands down. He has so many good lines in that. Like
I remember him being dope as hell.
Like he's got one line that's like, "You best start believing in ghost stories. You're in one," as he turns into a skeleton.
Classic.
Or there's the "We're going off the edge of the map. Here there be monsters."
Nice.
Like, it's just a bunch of good lines, and he's got, like, this amazing laugh.
What's the other thing?
Gibbs.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
He fucks.
I can see that.
Like, in the end of the third one, Jack sees his ship sailing away, and he's got two women in his arm.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, they turn around and slap him because, you know, he's a terrible person to them or whatever. And then Gibbs walks up behind him and says, "What do you know about sea turtles?" And then walks off with them.
I mean, he's got, like, fantastic facial hair. I remember him being dope as hell.
Oh yeah, he's got great mutton chops, a little bit of scruff on the chin.
I'm surprised mutton chops aren't making a comeback. I feel like this would be the time to do.
Really?
I mean, I'm pulling a mullet right now.
I think
I'm doing it for humor reasons, but mullets are genuinely making a comeback.
And this is humor, you said?
I thought it was so funny. Did I tell this story in the last episode?
No, I don't think so.
So I was having family dinner at Campbell's, and her brother's girlfriend was getting a haircut, and I think Campbell was like, you know, you should probably get a haircut. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, because Campbell usually likes me with long hair. And her mom was like, all right, well, what do you want? Maybe we do like a mohawk. A mohawk would be really cool. And you like kind of like stylish one. And I was like, that would be cool. But you know what'd be so funny? If I had a mullet for like a week and she just like stared at me and she was like, you would have the perfect hair for a mullet. Yes, let's do it. So we like looked up some pictures for a mullet. I sat down, she cut my hair, and it was the funniest thing in the I thought. She loved it. She thought it was great. We were like bopping 80s music. And Campbell was just like sitting there. She's like, oh, wow, yeah, that's happening. Oh, cool. Like she was trying to be supportive, but very badly at it. And then we went upstairs, and she did like the promoting thing with I don't know what
she knighted you.
She knighted, yes, thank you. And she was like, you are promoted to silly best friend, because there's no way in hell I'd be dating somebody with a mullet. That looks straight up ridiculous.
That's not what I said.
Shut up.
I hate to tell you this.
That's incorrect.
Not a promotion.
What?
I said, I'm sorry. I said there's no, you're promoted to funny best friend because there's no way in hell that I would fuck you with that mullet. I never said I wouldn't date you, but like there's no way that you could top me.
I remember you saying like, I'm going to be dominating you for a while because there's no way I'm going to be dominating.
I can't take you seriously with that. You can't dom me with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you guys aware of what the term promotion is?
Well, that was the joke.
That's not the word I would have used. I would have just said like knighted.
Well, what was the word that you used it? I know what I said.
I don't use
What?
it.
What is the word?
You know what? I don't even remember.
Oh, so you're calling my story out for wrong. By the way, I love how you're like, it wasn't silly best friend, it was funny best friend.
No,
like that's what you got me
silly
on.
best friend. No, what I was getting you on was you were saying like, oh, I would never date you. No, it wasn't about that. It was a sexual thing about how I was like, I can't take you seriously with that haircut.
That's the point. It's hilarious. It's so funny. I
There's a reason
still
we did
look at
doggy
it.
the other night.
Say that again.
What? No.
Excuse me. We're gonna have small talk for a little bit. Let's go introduce our guest already, since she wants to be so rude and disrespectful to the rules.
You were starting to tell the story
Hey,
wrong.
Campbell,
you know
who
what-
are you?
I'm Campbell. I'm Roland's girlfriend. We've been together almost a year now. So
Yeah.
like at the end of April. We were actually talking about it the other day. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, riveting
You guys
conversation.
You guys
Jeez.
have figured out when you started dating yet.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Okay, so the thing about that is we have different opinions on like when our anniversary is, because our first date was April 25th, right?
Yeah.
But that's not when we officially started dating.
Yeah.
'Cause he only asked me to be his girlfriend July 11th, right?
Yeah.
And
Are you sure about that, actually? Are you sure that it's...
But he thinks that our anniversary is April 25th, and I probably just gave in because I was fucking tired of this conversation. But it doesn't make any sense because we weren't official. It was just like our first meeting. You know, it's
Uh-huh.
not like it's not like we had our date and like had our dinner, and I was like, all right, I'm devoted to you.
All right, let
You're
me
the
make
one.
let me make an analogy. All right,
We're boyfriend and girlfriend now.
let me just
We're tied at the
You're so
hip.
good at these, Roland.
Let me-
I can't wait.
let me make an analogy. All right, let's say there's this guy. He starts boxing on July 15th, 2005. All right.
Okay.
And he's training, he's doing that, he's sparring, he's been boxing until like 2 years later, where he's finally becoming like an actual professional boxer. Would you say that his first official match he's been boxing?
That is
Or
such a
will you
terrible
say that like
analogy.
since you've been training, yeah, like I've been boxing
No, you've been
for
training.
years?
But the
been
thing is, his
training.
first day on his training day, it's not like he would have even been able to be alive in that first match. He would have gotten knocked the fuck out.
Yes, but he's been boxing.
Yeah,
He's
but
been
been
training.
sparring,
He's
been
been
doing
training
this.
to be a boxer.
you can get the shit beaten out of you
Right.
as a boxer, but never having trained before. You're still a boxer.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've trained but never done it,
Then you're not a
Then
boxer.
But he
you're
is
just-
boxing because he's sparring. He's doing boxer-like activities.
Because you would know so much
I'm just.
about boxer-like activity.
I watch Creed. All right, I watch Rocky.
All you watch
once
is
again,
Naruto.
Roland, you have used incorrect analogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying we have been dating since April 15th.
No, we've been knowing of each other's existence and what our faces look like since April 25th.
Incorrect, actually, because we have met each other before that
I'm so
once.
sorry.
We've been
I
talking.
meant this as a joke. and
No.
this is how it-
We
No,
were
this is a whole
talking
conversation.
a good
You should've
few
known
days
this, Phil.
before the date. So, if we're going to be technical, I love you.
We're gonna be technical. You just don't want our anniversary to be July 5th, July 11th.
When's our
because
anniversary? Because
July
apparently you
fucking
don't.
11th, dude. You just don't want it to be that because you took so fucking long to ask me to be your girlfriend. Which, by the way, he asked me at a stoplight. Nothing special. He just blurted it out after a movie date. He was like, "The light was red. This is a good time."
Be-
I'm gonna give you shit for that for the rest of your life. So.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
So we filmed an episode a few months back.
Where we had this same conversation.
Yeah, so Campbell was originally supposed to be our guest on episode Dale. That fell into a time warp of none of us really ate beforehand and drank too much in the middle of the episode.
It was very weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's the loopy episode. It's where the joke of me wanting to fuck Smaug,
Yes.
Rolan losing his shit.
That
over
was
that.
a good joke, though.
It was.
I have to
I've got it
admit.
saved. I don't
Yeah.
know where I'm gonna. I think I talked to Roland about getting it animated by somebody and then posting it on the YouTube.
That would be really funny.
Animation
yeah.
is so hard to do, though, and it
Yeah.
costs. You were even saying like it costs a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting thing to figure out.
Yeah.
But essentially, it was just I said, "Hey, like before the episode starts, I said, "Hey, Roland, just go with whatever I'm gonna say, okay?" And then I start out and I go, and so yeah, that's why I think that Smaug is the most fuckable dragon. And you lose it and go on like a 2-minute rant about
yeah.
like that's like how am I supposed to go with that? And because of that. That's the reason I don't go with anything you say anymore. Anytime you try to do a yes and situation, I go,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is for Smaug.
I don't think it was like a bad. Like I wasn't being like that's so stupid. It was
Yeah,
like
yes.
it was kind of like
It
funny.
wasn't a "you're so stupid" vibe. It was
Yo.
like a "that just came out of your mouth" vibe. Like,
Yeah.
How am I supposed to go with that?
I was just in
What were you
shock.
expecting me to say?
Yeah.
I was like,
He was just in shock.
you could have said like the Shrek one.
Yeah. I think
Bro,
I
they
think
made Shrek's dragon sexy on purpose. That was
Bro,
weird.
they did. Let's
they
be
gave
honest.
her eyelashes and eyeliner, and
Yeah.
they made her talk all sultry. That donkey.
She didn't
she doesn't talk.
talk.
She doesn't.
No.
We have talked about this. You've never seen Shrek.
I've never seen Shrek.
We've talked
I've seen
about
clips though. I thought she
we've
talked.
talked about this.
Does she just
before.
bat her eyelashes, and
Yeah,
that's how
basically,
she got
Dead ass.
drugged by a donkey dick?
Yeah, they
That's
have babies.
insane.
First of all-
I know. I
First of all,
saw.
like he has to have a massive dick as a donkey.
Why do you think it's called donkey dick?
I think you're referring to horse cock. I've never really heard of donkey
I've
dick.
never heard of donkey.
I've heard of donkey dick somewhere. It's like similar to horse cock.
Is that
Is
what,
it like
people
horse
have
cock's
called
little
you?
brother?
I think that was just an insult people called you. Hey, donkey dick.
I don't. Now I'm doubting myself.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot of movies I need to show you, Campbell. We've talked about
we
this
have
for a
a
while.
whole list. Everybody and their mother loves to tell me, "Oh, you really need to see this like tomorrow, like as soon as possible." And it's like, first of all, it's so bold of people to assume that I have so much free time. I almost got mad at you. Okay, so like sometime last week, I hadn't seen Roland in a while, so like we were like hanging out and everything, and we got home from going to Longhorn, I think, right? And I straight fell asleep at like 10 p.m. And if anybody knows me who's listening to this, I never fucking fall asleep at 10 p.m. It's like, 12 or 1 or 2. And
At least.
this bitch who supposedly knows me the best decides it's a good idea to wake me up at 11:30, not to send me home or so I can get more sleep or like, rest and relax after having the 18 credit semester and working like 30 hours a week. No, he's like, can you wake up because I want to hang out with you, can we watch something? The rage that I felt at you are so lucky that you survived that. I was so mad at you.
Why do you have to paint me in this picture? I wanted to
Listen,
hang out with you.
You know what?
It was very
Right,
cute,
right.
except if I me. If
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep before 11 or 12, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
And you also, I'm not a very easy person to wake up, so I'll give him that. Like, even when I've had my full 9 or 10 hours, it's a little scary. So, but still, like, who does that? Who's like, let me wake you up from your glorious nap when you haven't slept all week because you've been studying and taking tests.
You know what's crazy?
Because I'm going to watch Naruto with you, bitch. So
You know
get your ass up. Let's move.
Okay, first of all, you like Naruto.
Hold on.
I do like Naruto.
Pause what you're about to say. Was he going to make you watch an episode, like 4 episodes that you haven't seen later?
What?
Rolan does this thing where he's like, hey, I want to show you this TV show you haven't seen before. Let me pull up an episode from season 2, episode 5.
Yeah, he fucking did that with New Girl to me, where he showed me like the last 2 seasons.
No,
and I was like,
no,
okay,
that's different.
yes.
No. Why did I do that, Campbell?
because just fucking annoys me. But
Because
you know what? She's
didn't.
still annoying.
No,
in
you
the
didn't want to
later
start from the
seasons.
beginning. I'm sorry for speaking over each other.
This
Because-
became an argumentative podcast today.
Sorry, guys.
I love you,
love you.
Yeah, try and say argumentative after saying use it.
man. But no,
Let that one go.
let me tell you. You didn't want to
Go
watch.
ahead.
You didn't want to watch throughout because Jess was annoying, reasonably.
Yes.
She's the worst in like the
Absolute
first
worst.
couple seasons.
She's like
and
the
then
worst main character ever.
She's so.
How
There's
are you
like
supposed
some
to feel
moments.
sympathetic
no,
for her?
we're getting distracted.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But you really wanted to see Schmidt and Cece's progression.
Yeah, because
so
they're
we
the
were
only
jumping.
couple that has like fucking chemistry on there besides Allie and
Yeah.
Winston.
But you didn't want to sit throughout the whole thing. You wanted to jump around.
No, I wanted to jump around because you kept telling me, like, we'd be watching an episode and you'd be like, yeah, this is great. Sometime in the later season, they do this and this, and it's so cute. Like, and then I'd be like, what? Well, now I want to watch that. Like, I want to watch a cute fucking moment. Like, let me watch what you just described to me. So then we'd go to that episode, and then you'd be like, oh my God, their wedding is so amazing later. Like, you have to see it. And then we'd fucking jump to their wedding because then I'd be like, oh, well, no, I want to see it. So
Roland, you have never...
you hate things being spoiled for you, but you do it all the time.
Because
You've never shown me a TV... I think there's one show that I've seen that you've recommended to me that I started from the beginning.
what?
Righteous Gemstones.
Fantastic show.
It's amazing. John Goodman and Danny McBride both deserve Oscars for their performances.
Mm-hmm.
But you showed me Superstore from, like, the 3rd season.
Yeah, but that's a sitcom.
Yeah, but, like,
But
I
each-
don't know
So
any
is,
of the characters.
so is New Girl.
Each episode is.
Is
They're
it?
still connected. Like, they still have a
Not really.
underlying story. But, what was it? Golden Girls, you showed me.
That's
Golden
another
Girls is
sitcom.
bomb.
That is bomb.
Bomb.
Even in the first
What el-
episode,
what
they
else?
don't. They barely.
They don't establish it.
Yeah, in the first episode, they
only
don't establish how they
establish
get
it
to
in,
it.
like,
I've
that
never seen
one
the first
episode.
episode. My name is Earl. Nate still gives you shit about the fact that you showed me, like, a later episode, and I'm like, what's going on? Who are these people?
I don't remember that.
Well, it's because he doesn't tell you to your face, but he's like, I still can't believe Roland
No,
showed you.
not the Nate. Well, I didn't know the Nate thing, but I don't remember.
You
If
should-
anything,
you were like, you were talking about how you had just started My Name is Earl,
Uh-huh.
and Nate was like, oh my God, Phil's never seen it. We should make him watch it. And I was like, all right, I'm open to start a new show. And you showed me, like, episode 6. And I know it's like, that's like not far into the show. There's 4 seasons of it.
Is it a 40-minute episode or 20?
It's a 20-minute episode.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, like, that's the thing. That one wasn't bad, but I'm watching it and I go, I don't know who any of these people are.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, I get it. That dude's Earl. Because he says it in the intro. He says, my name is Earl. I get that.
yeah.
It's Jess.
But who are these people? Why is his brother so lovable?
Yeah, Randy was.
That's just, I was trying to figure out what his name was.
There's so many Randys I know. It's insane.
I
You
don't
wouldn't
know
think
his
Randy is a
mom.
popular name.
I don't know a single Randy.
There's. I don't know that many, but you called me out.
Yeah, I know.
There's Patrick's dog. There's this
Not a
dope ass guy named Randy that works in Crafty.
I would assume that in your list of Randys, that one of the people in it would be named Randy. Yes, continue.
That's on me for describing that. I think I met like a random ass.
I think
Oh,
you're
I get it.
stretching a little
Random
bit now.
Randy. See, I was thinking like...
I had another one, but I
Marsh.
forgot it. You know what I mean. We can move on.
Can we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you want to keep talking about the Randys you don't know?
Man,
Okay, anyway.
why is everybody coming at me right now?
Okay, to refocus. You were saying something about, like, New Girl,
I wasn't saying
TV shows? Something like that.
You were.
Well, me and Phil were talking about how you like to skip around on a lot of TV shows, and I was giving an example.
Uh-huh. I think you started that conversation.
Probably. I don't remember.
I mean, you definitely tried to, when we were all hanging out at some point, like, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, because we were talking about how you, like, woke me up to watch Naruto. And then
I asked
Phil
about
brought up,
Yeah, the whole thing, because we were going to watch...
Which, by the way, yes, he showed me the first episode of Naruto, and then I go on living in my life, my fucking busy-ass life, and then he comes back, and he's, like, in season 2, and he's like, oh, you remember this from, like, the first season? And I'm like, no, I don't. Why are people, like, why is that guy now gone? Like, who's this new guy? And then, well, you do pause it, and you fill me in, which I'm grateful for, but, like...
Okay, but be honest.
What?
As much as I love Naruto, there's so many fucking reaction shots, and I know you don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I know you don't have time for that.
So we're talking about, like, in the battle scenes when they're, like, supposedly fighting each other to the death, and they literally take three fucking
I'm
minutes.
sorry, how many?
3 fucking minutes.
How many?
3 fucking Dale fucking minutes.
There you
That's
go.
Dale
Anyways.
Sips. I'm sorry, my love.
well.
But no, there's literally they're fighting, and
And then they go, oh, oh.
no,
No, it's not even that. They have a flashback to, like, when they were children or something to have some sort of epiphany
yeah.
about the battle.
Their teammates are like in water from this water enemy.
Right, they're,
and
like,
then,
almost dying.
And they're like thinking of like, well, I could do this, but I could do that, or I could do that, and then
And it's like the slow shots of them like slowly continuously moving. So you're
Yeah.
over here being like, maybe this character is just reacting really slow and they're about to get fucking clumped by this other guy. Like
Yeah.
you don't know.
yeah.
So
I should have said
it's
that.
so those shots are so unnecessary. But I do like everything else about it.
Shippuden is like there's like a couple of eras of
Okay,
Naruto. I'm on the second era, and it's so much better
Puden.
with that. What?
No, keep going. I'm gonna
What?
do a joke.
What was the joke?
Put it in.
So
Anyways, keep going.
We're going from New Girl to anime. 2 things I haven't seen.
Dude, Naruto's so... Chris Collins, shout out to you. He got me into it.
Yeah, Chris Cohen,
Thank
we're
you.
going to try and get you on the podcast someday.
Dude, I love Chris.
He's the best. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Fuck you, Chris. I didn't want to get him too hype. Didn't want his head to get too big. All right, moving on. I mean, well, Phil, what do you watch? Like, what's your...
I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean. And,
Like TV show wise.
I watch a lot of Star Wars. I think we kind of covered that in the last episode.
Babes,
I'm a
TV
big-
show wise. You talking about like Mandalorian?
Well, like Mandalorian,
That's a
Bad
TV show.
Batch,
Yeah.
Clone Wars. I haven't seen
They
Book of
have
Boba
more
Fett.
that that's a
Oh,
lot
there's
of
there's
TV
a
shows.
bunch of shows. A very underrated show, Star Wars Rebels. It's got Freddie Prinze Jr. in it.
I heard about that.
Dude,
yeah.
he's... Oh, my God, it's so great.
He plays Fred in the live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, word!
And-
And he's
and
married to
he's
what's her
married to
face?
Daphne.
They're
Yeah.
so cute.
They're so adorable.
And isn't she from Buffy?
She is,
Yeah.
yes.
Love her. She's great. Which we started and never finished.
I never
circled back to.
kept watching it either.
Can we just talk about... Since we started talking about Buffy,
Yeah.
you know how that show, like, got canceled? And then Joss Whedon was like, well, I have to finish my story, so... Oh, I'm turning. Sorry, I'm sitting in a spinny chair, and I started turning away from the people I was talking to. He did, like, season 13 and 14, or 14 and 15, as comic books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, like, that's how
Huh.
he finishes out the story, and it's supposedly, it reads just like a Buffy episode.
Huh.
Huh.
What about the spin-off, Angel?
I'm gonna be honest, never seen Buffy
Silence.
the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my gosh. the first episode is good. Like it's
Wasn't
very
there a
I
school
don't-
shooter episode? Or like a...
I-
We
We
literally
just watched the
got
first
to like
episode.
what, maybe episode 2? I don't even know.
Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know why we stopped watching it though, because it was like a cool show.
It was. Like the
was
first
cool.
episode was really cool. It was like breaking norms. It was,
It was like you could like feel like the 90s-ness like with the special effects and like the style. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I've had that same thing with like watching Veronica Mars.
how is that?
Isn't that with what's her face
Kristen
from
Bell?
Good Place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. She's amazing.
She's great. Yeah.
Uh,
Weird shit about her and her husband. Apparently, like they post all the time. Like, they give interviews about their personal life, which I didn't know about.
Oh, yeah, no, they had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
They actually made a joke about it in Chips.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she plays his wife in the movie, but she's, like, constantly cheating on him or whatever.
Is that what happened in real life?
No, there's a lot of, like, other issues. Like,
I can't
This is the
tell.
moment that Phil is like, I've never looked up a single thing about
no,
it.
like, I've read stuff about it, like, one of them gaslit the other about opiates.
What?
Opioids.
Oh, somebody doesn't know their drugs. Somebody doesn't know their paraphernalia.
Yeah. Tell me about your list of Randys again.
What?
Tell me about your list of Randys again.
Man.
And we'll talk about
No,
my
you got me on
opiates.
2 things. Let me have one thing on you. Come on.
That's now 2 drinks of blue milk.
Man. Bully it on my own podcast. This is bullshit.
Great. This is great. I love having guests that I can, like, work with teaming up on against you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Campbell straight up bullies me.
You bully me right back. You hurt
Well-
my feelings all of the time.
Well, really? Because it doesn't seem like it. It seems like you're just being mean to me.
You're the one who woke me up from a fucking nap in the dead of my sleep.
That's a fair point. Like,
It was like an hour and a half nap, too. Like, it was one of those deep sleep naps. Like, I was having dreams. And this guy wakes me up by, like, shaking me and being like, wake up, I want to spend time with you. Like, that's why you decided to wake me up?
Well, I let you have a nap. I don't know why I said that.
You
I don't
should
know why
not
I said
have fucking said that.
I
Ooh.
well, you know,
If I fall asleep at 10 p.m., that means I was meant to fucking fall asleep at 10 p.m. and have a full, like, 10-hour at minimum
I know,
sleep.
but it's a whole thing whenever. So
you should have woken me up and been like, bitch, you're asleep. Go home.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I've been
I said what I said.
a minute straight because as you started telling that, my chair just turned and made me look the opposite way of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I could see that.
whole Roland said his dumb shit, and I nonstop laughed from one thing to another. It's great.
But it's so awkward when I say, like, hey.
I know, but it'd be more understandable because you've kicked me out before. Like, okay, so
we
we're
talked about that. We
not
talked about
allowed to sleep over, even though we're both adults. We're not allowed to.
Yeah, my grandparents
fall
are
asleep
just,
together.
they're very old-fashioned.
Because, you know, then and only then we would make a baby, you know. Anyways,
I mean, what if you guys find out later on that you're first cousins, right?
we already had that discussion.
Okay, that seems. We gotta explain that a little bit. So context of the whole.
Okay, so basically I've seen, like, in the past, like, 2 or 3 days on my For You page, I've seen 2 separate videos. Like, one was, like, a
You saw
Reddit...
2?
Yes, I told you.
I thought it was just one.
We literally were talking
discussed
about
this.
I know, but I
Yeah.
thought it was just one. I thought it was
No,
the same
it was
one.
2 separate occasions, remember? Because it was a woman who, her parents, like, had her when they were, like, 14. And she grows up and is dating this guy, gets engaged to him, has been with him for 7 years, and finds out that he's her biological father, which is fucking foul. And everybody's discussed. Also, what I was telling you was that this was, like, a recent thing. Like, she was talking about it
Yeah.
and giving dates of, like, you know, January 15th, 2022.
Yeah.
Like, and all that kind of stuff. She talked about how, like, they had a pregnancy scare. It was disgusting. It was sad.
So what's the other one?
So the other one was something I came across today, where it was this woman who was talking about, hey, so I just found out that 2 of my accounts that I, like, do business with on OnlyFans are my biological father.
I forgot about that one.
How do you forget that?
I don't
told
know.
you that today.
Yeah, you told me
Literally, like, 20
like
minutes
right
ago.
before the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I was.
No, we've been filming this.
And then I made
half an hour
a
now.
joke to Rolan. This is the context where I was like, if, like, we found out that we were pregnant and then you found out that we were cousins, what would you do? And he was like, I'd push you down the stairs.
Jokingly, I said that jokingly.
Jokingly, yeah. for sure.
Jokingly, but he did put a mattress at the bottom of the pillows.
A mattress at the bottom of the pillows.
Look, I was
What?
thinking.
Yeah.
2 for 2, baby.
All right, we're even. We're even.
All right.
But I'm gonna get you at least 2 more times by the end of this podcast.
Okay.
No.
And you know I'm not wrong.
Yeah. I'm not the best at talking.
So you mentioned
Says the man with 2 podcasts.
2 podcasts And a degree.
And it's
Yeah, a
writing
degree in
script.
communication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
That's like your job, and you're not good
My
at it.
man.
That was mean.
It's
That
okay.
was a little too much. That was a
Was
little
it?
too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're good at it. You just, you know.
You communicate. Just
You're very good at communicating in our relationship.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Let me add. Yeah. This is probably totally off rail.
We are
And
already so off.
We had
So
things
off
planned
rail.
for your episode,
Yeah, we did.
and
We
I don't
had
even know if we're gonna do
structure.
it.
I
An
was trying
organization.
to move into it, and then we just started talking about something else.
It would have been a perfect segue when we were talking about shows, but I'm gonna ask you this. Let's say you spend the night with a girl. Would you think it would be hot if you woke up to a blowjob?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I have
Even
told
if
that
you
I've-
hadn't
I've-
consented beforehand to it.
If I
like if-
haven't,
No, like you guys hadn't talked about it. Like this was a one night stand, and that's how she decides to wake you up.
Yeah.
perfectly fine with that.
Really?
Yes,
Oh.
100%.
Why?
Feels like because it's a blowjob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit. Like, yeah.
Damn. Okay. Speaking of your dad, I went. No, I
Speaking of your dad.
I've been thirsty for him.
What?
Good old Warner.
Okay.
No, I came over to your house and he was like, "Oh, my girl," and then he saw me. And he was like, "Oh, my boy," and I was.
That
like,
was so cute.
It was.
That was really cute.
I was like, "Okay."
My dad's not like that even with like David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that was a point. That was like 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that.
I had to hold back on a joke. I'm sorry.
What was the joke?
Go ahead and say it. We can cut it if it's too much. I say
One
we
of the
when it'll
three
be
dads
Roland or
ain't
you.
bad.
Say what now?
Damn.
I missed
Take a
that.
shot.
I have to take a shot. Shit.
What'd he say?
He said 1 out of Dale dads isn't too bad.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
rough.
That's why I wanted to hold back on it. But you know what? I said it anyway.
Listen, Nick and my dad are a lot alike. They both have that like stoic. We're not going to talk about feelings or communicate. We're going to leave.
Yeah.
when times get tough.
Nick-
Not like that, but just
No.
like emotionally. Like
No.
when stuff happens, they're both like, "I'm going to go for a walk for
gonna go
2
get some
hours."
milk.
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah, my dad is going through like a midlife crisis right now, for sure.
I'm surprised he hasn't bought a Cadillac. No offense to him.
No, well,
but,
he
like-
bought that dirt bike.
Yeah, and he just goes riding on it sometimes. Like when he's like, "All
I've
right."
seen him ride it a few times.
Yeah, like that's I don't know.
Can't even
He's
ride a regular bike.
like he's
Okay.
very weird about. Yeah, very stoic. You're right.
Yeah.
But I have told Campbell like he said like he's texted me some like really nice things. Just
Yeah.
like
So you talked about dreams earlier.
Yeah, dreams.
let's get into psychology.
Yeah,
Yes.
Roland tells me you're into like psychology and
I am. It's mostly like honestly trying to understand like my trauma and also others and like trying to be a little more empathetic but also understand like how to
You're very
not-
empathetic. What do you mean?
about certain things. You know, I have that thing about like where if somebody does like certain bad things, I'm perfectly fine with them dying. Like
Yeah.
100%
Yeah,
would kill them myself.
I feel like that.
My line is not very thick though, like with what
No, like I was making jokes about my father, and
not the father.
and you. Well,
Why did you say that like
Because it's
Dr.
his
Evil.
father
Yeah,
and not
Dr.
his dad. Yeah.
did you see that commercial with Dr. Evil?
no?
It's pretty good. It's like for
Anyways,
General
I'm
Motors.
surprised.
I'm
like,
sorry.
after
I'm sorry.
The 15-minute conversation of Philip doesn't watch TV. He asked me if I watch a TV commercial.
Yeah,
Well,
I
have you
don't
watched the
even know.
Super Bowl commercials?
I saw the Doctor Strange trailer.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did you see Zombie Doctor Strange too?
That was.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways,
so
father.
No, let's get it. Fuck it. Let's get into the thing we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about dreams now.
Philip and I have some dreams, and we would like you to interpret them.
Absolutely.
I told
This
Roland
is
about my dreams,
this
too.
is your disclaimer, guys. I do not have a psychology degree. I'm taking one psychology class, and most of this will just be assumptions and bullshit. So, just go along with it.
And I mainly figure out things about you more than you.
Yeah, honestly, like I have very similar types of dreams and have had them for the past 2 years on like based on a very specific date. And Roland the other day, because I was talking about my psychology class, and I was like, "Oh, she's gonna like analyze some dreams, and I would like to understand why I keep having the same type of dreams." And he was like, "Sweetie, it's because of XYZ." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right."
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about our first date, where
Yeah, that too.
the first date we ever... I'm so sorry, Phil.
We're so sorry.
I mean, it's fine. This is how you were last episode, right? Where you just sat there and listened to Nick and I talk about the wingsuit grandpa story.
Anyway, so our first date. Our first date, we've been like talking about this, and Campbell was talking about her relationship like with her mom as a kid, and
As you do on your first date.
yeah, we got deep.
We got so deep. We talked about like each other's traumas, our relationship with our parents. Well, also keep in mind, like our first date lasted from like 6 p.m. to like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like it was a long date, and we were like hanging out at the park in the dark, like staring at the stars, talking about like deep conversations. So
It was very sweet, but we don't need to talk about that.
right. Yeah.
But
Onto the trauma.
she was like saying something about like, her brother,
Me brother
had this and that, and so whatever he couldn't eat, she couldn't eat as well. So
Yeah.
there was never any sugar or this or that.
Well, it's
in the
also just
house,
because like
and-
the way my mom is raised, she's very much like, and she's loosened up now and everything. But obviously there's lots of bad stuff in processed food for you, and she was just like very adamant about us not having any of that when we grew up, to the point where like on our birthdays, the thing we would ask for was fucking Pringles because we never had them before. So it was like stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
you can say it.
I was talking to him and I was like, wait, I don't remember the context. Maybe you should tell.
We finally got to like defense mechanisms or something.
Coping mechanisms, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And you're saying something about like, like when I'm really stressed, I tend to like
binge eat.
yeah. And I was like,
copious amounts of food.
Well, yeah, you know why?
And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Why?
Because since her mother never let her eat a lot of this and that growing up, of course she's going to want to do that when she has freedom as an adult.
That's fair. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's I'd say like 20% reason why I go to the gym is so I can eat whatever the fuck I want. But
That's why I imagine that you're going for a health degree, because you've been told all this information. Your dad had...
my dad is the kind of person who is all about diets, which fucking drives me nuts.
What did he have again?
He had mercury poisoning and almost died.
Yeah. And he got really into health and fitness.
He was his actually degree was in health and recreation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he technically like had a very similar degree to what I'm getting now, which is odd.
Yeah. And your mom was always talking about health and diet
Yeah.
as a child. So growing, so of course you know all these things. So that's why I imagine why you would.
Yeah, and it's also to kind of figure out the bias, because obviously like the United States as a whole, I'm so sorry, Phil, this is probably not very interesting
I was
for
just
you.
thinking about it, and I was like, well, I'm just sitting here silently breathing into the mic. So I was like, I should probably put my head up so I'm not just going...
Darth Vader over here. No, but like, food in America is like awful. Like the FDA just okays anything. Like you go over to Europe, in Italy or Germany, and all of the processed food has completely different ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because over there, a lot of ingredients that are allowed in the United States are not allowed. And by ingredients, I mean chemicals, are not allowed over like there. And because my mom lived in Germany and my dad's German, so mostly Germany. But anyways, it's just the nutrition that they teach in school is obviously some form of incorrect, but also the nutrition I learned, at home is obviously going to have some bias to it. So it's kind of like part of the reason why I am exploring health and fitness and all that is because I kind of want to figure it out for myself and be able to have that balance. I want to be able to eat healthy and feel healthy, but still not be as obsessive about what I'm consuming.
Yeah.
Because that's not healthy at all.
Phil, do you have any coping mechanisms you want us to diagnose?
Yeah, tell me a couple.
I think we kind of talked about binge eating a little bit.
So was your food access also restricted as a kid then?
Soda access, yes.
Yeah, my mom never had soda.
Food-wise, not really.
Really?
We've kind of talked about it before, where my mom kind of has a rule of you can only have 2 pieces of bread at dinner.
Okay, so that's weird.
She doesn't want you overstuffing on carbs.
Yeah, Hannah rants about that still.
We eat dinner later.
Yeah, so do we. We usually eat at 8:30ish.
Oh, we 6:30, 7 o'clock ish for us.
Yeah.
But, like, she doesn't want you eating so many carbs so late at night because we have a lot of pasta, a lot of other, like, carbo foods.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, vegetables are also carbs. I hate that
What?
stereotype.
Well, yeah, sugars are carbs.
Sugars, vegetables like broccoli is a fucking carbohydrate.
I did not know that.
Fucking
Yeah.
love broccoli. I eat that.
Broccoli's dope, right?
amazing. But that's one of the myths that I hate about fitness, where people are like, I'm going to cut carbs, and they're talking about just pasta and just bread and all that, which, by the way, is not that great for you. But, like, people don't even know, like, vegetables are your carbs. You're supposed to have carbs and, like, all that. Anyways, sorry, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
That's fine. It just, like, that kind of thing reminds me of, well, I mean, I know you haven't seen it, but have you seen This Is the End, Roland?
Are you
Good
talking about, like,
assumption. It was
with
accurate.
Seth
and
Rogen?
Jay Baruchel?
Yeah.
And it's the part where they're sitting in the Hardee's parking lot, and Seth Rogen's like, "Yeah, man, I'm on the gluten-free diet," and then they go and they start eating, and he's like, "I don't know what the fuck gluten is, but it tastes so fucking good." Gluten.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That
Yeah.
sticks with me, but I like
Well, gluten-free, like, bread tastes nasty. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so
no,
crumbly
anything.
and dry.
it, like
Gluten-free
just-
pasta
yeah.
is actually not that bad. It tastes pretty okay.
It's all right. I mean, like, plain pasta is just bland, so, I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that it could be any worse.
There's also, like, buckwheat pasta and, like, you know, there's, like, different
I stand
things you can do.
But, you know, like, we would just, growing up, we weren't supposed to have, like, so much candy or so much, like, you know, always told, like, fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and, you know, now I eat...
So it was more about, like, the quantity versus what
Well,
it
quantity
was.
and, like, quality of what you're eating.
Yeah.
Which has definitely changed as I've grown up. Because, like, being me now, I make a lot of salad. I eat at least one salad a day.
I didn't know you. I know you.
all the time.
Well, I know you eat a lot of salad. I didn't know you ate it once
What do
a
you
day.
have in your salads, by the way? Like, what kind of salads?
Oh man, it's.
I've recently gotten into, like, Asian chicken, like, with edamame and onions and all
I
that.
use fajita flavored chicken, like with fajita spices in it.
Huh. Okay,
It's
yeah.
really good. You can
That
get it,
sounds
like,
pretty
at
good.
Walmart for like $7 a tub.
Yeah.
But-
Tub. Okay. Moving past that.
Tub. Okay,
I don't really
it's
want
like
my
it's
chicken
like a
coming
little-
out of a tub.
It's like a little bucket. Okay,
Not really helping your case here.
I'm trying to figure out the word for it. It's like a smaller container. That's the word I'm looking for. Container.
I knew what
Okay.
you meant by tub.
I can send
Okay.
you a picture later. But
Phil sweating.
I have a lot of salad
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of like fruits and vegetables throughout the day. Like I
Yeah.
said, I eat a lot of broccoli, eat a lot of carrots.
Broccoli and carrots slap, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
So good.
apples.
Mm-hmm. I used to have apples so much as a kid, and I don't anymore because I forget about them completely. I have, like, bananas all the time.
I completely understand that. I can't eat bananas. They hurt my stomach.
I just
Yeah.
don't like them.
But I used to eat a lot of apples as a kid. I used to eat like 2
I
a
had
day.
one every lunch, like, of my entire school, because I was homeschooled until 7th grade. So 7th through 12th grade, every lunch I had an apple. So it was like, and then I got out of grade school, and I was like, oh, my own schedule. I'm supposed to eat 3 times a day, and then it was like, you know,
Hey,
it all
you gotta
crumbled.
take another drink, by the way.
All times a day, yeah, whatever.
But see, it's like I said, it's changed as I've grown up because like now I eat all that stuff. I eat, you know, all these fruits and vegetables. My brother, God bless his soul. I know he's going to be listening to this at some point.
Hi, William.
That motherfucker.
What's up, kid?
For breakfast, chicken flavored ramen.
Yeah, you told
That's
me.
a rough way to start out the morning.
For lunch, a can of SpaghettiOs and a handful of cheese sticks.
That just makes me so sad.
Wow.
And then gets home from school,
Uh-huh.
bowl of popcorn around 4 o'clock, 4:30. Dinner at 6:30. He eats about half of it because he had a whole bowl of popcorn.
That makes me so sad. Like, that makes me want to, like, kidnap him and, like, give him real food for a week.
Well, it's not even the thing of like
Sorry, William.
like my parents aren't doing anything about it. They did a whole thing where it's like over the summer they were like, yeah, every week you have to try one new vegetable. because he eats no vegetables.
Here's
He
the
eats
thing, though.
nothing good for him, and it
Not to
kills me.
dog your parents, but like my mom, there was no allowing you to not eat something. We literally had a rule where you couldn't leave the kitchen table until like you had eaten like at least most of your food. And fun fact, growing up I hated clementines because the seeds in there freaked me out, and I thought that if I accidentally swallowed one, a tree would grow inside of my lungs and I would die.
We all thought that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't eat clementines because of it. So my mom would purposely give me clementines to get me over that fear and would not allow me to leave the table until I had eaten all the clementine.
Did Davis try to really say, like, if you ate the seeds, they'll grow in you?
Well, he just
or-
fueled any fear that I have. He's an older brother, so of course.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna
older
say,
brother and
Mike-
I'm an older brother. Like that's
Well,
what we
no,
do.
I was going to say Mike did that to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah. So
But
I
my
didn't know if
mom's
that was...
reaction to me not wanting to eat something was, well, you're going to fucking eat it. Which was traumatizing in its own way, of course. But,
Yeah.
like,
that was originally what my parents used to do. William used to eat vegetables all the time. Every dinner, he would have like a thing of carrots with him.
yeah.
But it's just as he's grown up and now he's 15 years old, he thinks he can do whatever he wants.
I think it's also because the difference between, again, going back to like, you know, ramen or processed foods and everything, when you have a majority of that versus real food, you kind of start to forget what real food tastes like because, you know, it's over salted, it has extra flavoring. So when you taste real food, you're like, oh, this is boring. Like, why would I eat this? It's not exciting, it's not as flavorful. You know, it's kind of like when you, like, eat too many sweets or something. You're like, I'm full now, I don't really need dinner. Like that kind of a thing. So
I don't know what I've been eating lately, but I can't eat frozen pizza anymore, it seems like.
probably because you've had so much of it lately.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I know you've had
A good
like,
amount,
couple,
yeah.
'cause we've had some together.
Well, I'll have it like maybe like once a week because I try to get some dumb frozen stuff for like when I'm lazy instead of going out and trying to spend money a lot like
Or you could
every
try
day.
to cook. That's just a suggestion.
That is a suggestion?
You have a
And-
whole kitchen down here. I thought it didn't work. And you know what Ricky told me the other day? He was like, that man has a full kitchen, full access. I was like, damn.
Fuck her, I don't
that-
want to hear this shit.
I was like, I thought the stove was broken. He was like, no.
No, the stove's not broken.
Case in point.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's talk about murders.
well, no, I can
Murder's on my mind.
We skipped over so much of it. I kept trying to bring up dreams, and we moved right past.
I'm sorry.
dreams.
Okay.
But we did. The health thing is on the list though. Like talking about like
Yeah, like that
food.
is definitely one of my
is-
passions. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I told Rolan earlier. Whenever I'm alone and I order something on DoorDash, I always overbuy.
Oh, me too. It's a bad thing.
I don't think you understand. A week ago,
Okay.
I was house sitting for a friend, former teacher.
Okay.
And they had a promotion where it was like, yeah, if your order is like $15 or more, you can get an extra 20-piece nugget. Well, I was like,
Oh yeah,
well,
you're telling me about this.
Yeah, I remember
the
this.
savings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up eating a burger, a chicken sandwich, fries, a drink, and 30 nuggets.
As one does.
And then I was like, man, that was so good. Like, I feel good right now. The next day, I was like, oh
Yeah. Yeah.
my God, I shouldn't have done this. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. Am I going to do it again? Probably not. But, like, you know, if an offer comes that's better than that, like, yeah, I'm going
Right.
to take it.
Yeah.
One time I was really craving Buffalo Wild Wings, and I got like I got 12 wings and nachos, and I think a side of mac and cheese and mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Because I was really hungry, and I ate all of it. And again, like you said, felt super sick like the day afterwards. Felt great in the moment. I was like, that was a great meal.
Yeah.
We did good. And it hit me the day after, and I was like, we did not do good.
Oh my god.
There was one time.
And it was like, you know, $50 or $40.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
that's
like
the worst.
it's like, oh, you're like, this is not that bad. And then you go to check out and it's like adds like an extra 15 for your DoorDash or whatever, and you're like, damn, that shit adds up.
There was one time, I don't even remember why I was so hungry when I was here once, but
Probably because Roland has no fucking extra food here. He either has frozen pizza or like nothing.
This was beyond hunger. Like, we ordered Domino's that night, and I ate an entire pizza by myself without even realizing it. And then I was like, well, I'm still hungry. And I ordered a bunch of McDonald's again. McDonald's is the one place I order way too much all the time. Mm-hmm. So I got a bunch of McDonald's.
Their fries are like the best fries. I love me some thin cut, crunchy fries.
We had a conversation.
I'm biased, but I think...
Look,
Wendy's fries or Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's fries are pretty good.
Wendy's new fries are better.
I think their new fries are worse, actually.
If
You
they're
have a dog shit opinion on food. So
Man, fuck you.
Phil said,
Look,
your opinion is not
look,
valid.
you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, Chick-fil-A all the way 100%. But it's like, look, I'm hungry and it's Sunday afternoon.
You're gonna give them that one day. That's your argument.
It's 1 out of 7 days a week. Roland.
Struggling.
Listen, you're the one who's for it's like a homophobic company.
That also that too also
no.
They hire 14-year-olds, so like
they do. They overwork their kids, bro.
14.
I'm
and
not
underpay
just
so
starting
much.
high school.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
like 15, 16-year-olds who are running a fucking like company
Yeah,
show,
like,
whole thing.
You're just brainwashed.
It's like, oh, you're a team leader. How old are you? I'm 16. I should
No,
be.
actually, team leaders have to be.
I'm taking
18.
the ACT right now. Actually, it's next year because I'm not old enough to take it yet. Like, that's Chick-fil-A.
I'm only a sophomore.
I'm only a sophomore. Yeah.
All right, admittedly looking back,
I'm
yes,
learning how to
I
drive.
was
My mom drives
brainwashed.
me to shit.
What do you mean were? You still are.
You still are.
No.
Respectfully, love you, babe.
Roland, have
Yeah.
you ever had McDonald's before?
Yes, I've had McDonald's
When?
before.
Yeah. He's a
The
chicken
last
nugget
time
person.
was when I got you food, Campbell, when you were doing your nails. Or you were doing your hair. You know what I'm talking about?
That face does not look like she knows what you're talking about.
I know it.
I think I
But-
remember. I wanted like hash browns.
You looked like a Karen. I
Fuck
took your
off.
picture.
I did not look. I literally had half of my head buzzed, like in a cool haircut, and Roland was like, "You look like a Karen," and I was like, "I have a red stripe in my hair, and half of my head is buzzed. I really don't. If anything, I look like a lesbian or a man. But no, like it." And I think I told him, I was like, I really am craving like a hash brown and an egg McMuffin. Like, I'm not a huge fan of fast food because it will fuck my shit up. But like every once in a while, I'm like, I
Like
need.
your literal shit?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I had Taco Bell the other day and it was fantastic, and I
Never
paid
had
for
Taco
it
Bell.
later. What?
I've been to Taco Bell 4 times and never eaten there. I'm
Do you-
dead.
This is the second place you've talked about on the podcast where
the
you've been
fuck?
to it multiple times, but you haven't.
How do you
No,
do
I've
that?
been to Fuddruckers and I've eaten at Fuddruckers. and
You
I'm
cannot
literally
Is
that
Fuddruckers
episode.
a word?
I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I'm really upset about this. That episode released, and then like a few days later, 8 locations of Fuddruckers shut down permanently. And I lost it.
Y'all remember when IHOP was like quote unquote permanently shut down for a bit? I was so
I
upset.
do.
Brandon was
I
so
was
happy.
so
Brandon
upset.
was singing the praises. He was like,
Why?
Waffle House for life.
Waffle House is like dog shit compared to IHOP. Like Waffle House is for the AMs. Like 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. acceptable. Any other hours, if you're in Waffle House, you're like a crackhead, or you literally can only afford like a $2 meal. Which
No,
is, like,
well, we've
fine.
gone there
true.
like morning after.
Morning after,
Like,
yes,
yeah.
and
I don't know. Like when I'm hungover, like every once in a while I want greasy food, but usually it just makes me feel worse.
I don't know. There's
I will
just
say Waffle House like crappy coffee in those mugs hits like nothing else, and I know that those mugs are not clean whatsoever.
But they're
coming
so
from somebody
good.
who's like a server in a nice restaurant, I know those things. are
Oh,
not
so you're being
fucking clean.
elitist.
No,
That's what it sounds like right now. You're being elitist.
Are you
Cafe
gonna call
Rule
Waffle
is
House a nice restaurant?
right. What do you?
No,
fuck-
I'm
Are
saying-
you literally
Is there a
trying to
Waffle
compare
House?
Cafe Rule and Waffle
Bro,
House
get on
right
my
now?
back. We can get her together.
Get on your back.
He likes it like that.
What?
You want me to
That
pull
doesn't
the
even make
mullet while I'm
sense.
back there?
Yeah, talk a little bit, baby.
Either it's have my back
Yeah.
or get on my side.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
on my back makes me sound like I'm.
Come on,
I'm
babe.
Yoda.
Use it the right euphemism.
Okay.
No, euphemism is correct.
Euphemism is correct. Yeah.
I thought of euthanasia for a quick second. Dude,
Dude, those kids.
I knew a guy that wrote a
Kids?
paper.
Yeah, euthanasia.
Is
right?
what you
No,
baby.
you're the worst. Not that old ass joke. Not that old ass
sweet
joke.
thing.
He's
No.
laughing. He knows what he did.
I know exactly what I did.
There
Now-
was a point where I was like 16 and dumb, and somebody mentioned that, and I was like, "You're doing a presentation on like kids in Asia? Isn't that like a little bit racist?" And they were like,
How was that racist?
"Like youth in Asia, just talking about like generalized like I don't know like." I was just like, that's a weird thing to do your presentation on. Like, how do
Yeah.
you gather that evidence? And they were like, that's not what that is.
No, I knew a guy that like legitimately wrote this like it had to be like 7-page paper on euthanasia, and he stuck by his word. He was like, I still believe in it. I'm tired of old people just wasting space. I was like,
Damn.
fucking hell.
I thought it was used
I thought
more
you were
for
gonna say
like.
something about like he thought it was the youth in Asia.
No, straight up,
No,
he
he
knew
was
what
like-
he was talking about,
like,
and
people-
he was for
We
it.
should get rid of it.
Well, I mean, I feel like people should have the choice. Like, if I was terminally ill, I wouldn't want to just like wait until I died and
Yeah, but it's not
withered away.
terminally ill. It's
Brandon
just
and I-
old.
Brandon
Well,
and
no,
I talked
euthanasia
about
is used. The 2 waivers that you and we went over this in psychology class literally Tuesday. The 2 forms that you need filled out, specifically in Oregon. I don't know about other states and like if it's a thing there in those forms, but in Oregon you have to have a paperwork from your doctor saying that you are going to die in 6 months or less, and then your second thing has to be from a psychologist or a psychiatrist saying that you are sane, that you're not crazy.
Yeah.
And you need both of those before you can even try to.
Didn't Oregon legalize all, or no, they decriminalized all drugs?
That's also a thing that I ironically just recently studied in psychology. We went over like Portugal where they decriminalized all drug use, and our entire unit was based off of like if addiction, because okay, how do you guys think people get addicted to drugs? Like they take it, do you think that they take it and like the chemicals in their brain change to be dependent on it, or do you think that it's like a social thing that like they're cut off from social ties and therefore they're depending on a drug for happiness?
Column A, column B. I mean, I very openly have an addiction to like caffeine and sugar.
Oh, I 100% have an
Like,
addiction
I
to sugar,
drink-
yeah.
Yeah.
I drink soda a lot.
But do you ever notice that you drink it more when you're lonely or you feel sad?
No, I actually. So okay, my
Or
body's
you-
weird. I think today everything I've drank. I've had a few sips of this pineapple rum drink, and I've
In a
had,
Coke bottle. How the hell did you get in a plastic Coke bottle?
Don't ask questions.
I'm Gabor, I respect it.
And then I had 1 bottle of Coke today, and that's it.
No water?
You know me for like almost a year.
I've never seen you drink water, Phil.
Exactly. I don't drink water.
Yeah.
There was actually a joke that Rolan and I talked about doing before we filmed this was how yellow should piss be before it's considered dangerous.
What color is your piss? Let's be honest.
It's yellow.
How yellow are we talking
Are we
about?
talking like orange yellow? Are we talking
No,
like light
it's-
yellow?
It's like a dark.
It's dark,
It's
isn't
like
it?
a.
He's like, it's only almost orange. I don't really know it.
My piss has only been orange whenever I was in the hospital.
Mm.
And that's because I was
Little bit of blood.
on IV for a week, so like I was
Yeah, that makes sense.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But after that, like it's only been like I don't know. I don't have like the way in my head to describe the color of it.
I'll get you a color wheel and we'll find out.
Okay.
We'll post the color on our Twitter.
It's X587B.
And that's not how the colors.
Anyways, but in my psychology class, we basically studied a study that was done in Portugal where because they had a drug problem. Can I help you?
Study to study in Portugal.
Yeah, it was a TED Talk like doctor who was talking about how he basically analyzed research that was done in Portugal. Phil, I don't really understand.
I'm not laughing at you, but it's just
That is the proper term, though.
No,
yeah,
I know,
study
like,
to study.
Study to study, and in the TED Talk he talked about. It's just I love it when words do that.
Yeah.
I know.
It makes me giggle.
Okay. Anyways, so Portugal had a big drug problem, and they basically they tried criminalizing it more, and basically creating harsher laws for it, and that only actually made the like numbers go up. So then they like hired a team of scientists and was like, what do we need to do, like laws wise, to help fix this? And they basically said you need to create a support program that transitions people who are addicted to drugs to normal life by giving them like motivators. Because they did a study based on like how most people who are addicted has nothing to do with the chemicals in their brain. So they were talking about how it's more social, how most people who are addicted, it's because they don't have strong connections in their life and they don't have really any joy outside of that drug because like there's nothing to fulfill their life basically. And they originally did this with rats, of course. That's like all fucking human experiments start out with, which is a little fucked.
You know why though, right?
Well, yeah, because it's like, you know, it's kind of similar to humans, and they're also like, I guess, expendable. Yeah. But so the first part of the experiment was a rat was put alone in its cage with like just regular water and then like opioid infused water. And over time, the rat started to only drink the opioid water, like did not ever go back to the regular water. And this guy came with a theory that what if it's environment, basically. So he made like a huge cage where there was like, you know, toys and an obstacle course and like rat heaven, basically, and other rats as well. So like socialization and activities. And then he put the drug water and the regular water in. And what he found was that the rats went to the drug water maybe once or twice, but then after a period of time never went back to it because they were having sex, they were socializing, they were getting food, and they had activities to do. So basically his point was if your life is full enough, those kinds of people rarely ever become addicted to drugs because they're getting their happiness in other places. Because of course most of the drugs people are addicted to are stimulants like opioids that create that like happy feeling and that high. So
what about damn it, what's it called? It's what dope sick is about. Oxycontin. What about people that are like they have like they get an injury and they start taking.
Well, he brought this up. He was like, "Who's ever had like an elderly aunt or grandmother who's had hip surgery?" And like people raise their hands and they're like, "Well, while getting and recovering from surgery, they had opioids." I mean, I just had wisdom teeth surgery and I had opioids for like I took it only one time.
Yeah.
But like they're not addicted, you know, and it's. Well, some of them.
But whenever Oxycontin was coming out,
because when I was in the hospital for my appendicitis, I went on, like I went on for like 2 days. I was like, no morphine, no none of that. I was like, I don't want to get addicted to that because I know I will.
Yeah.
And I was 16 at the time, and my mom was there, and the nurse said, I don't know why we keep asking him. He's going to keep saying no. He's basically making himself suffer because he's in a decent amount of pain right now.
Right.
And he's young enough that, Mom, if you say the word and we can give him morphine, which, by the way, stupid thing. If I'm saying no should be no, right?
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
And my mom said, yeah, if it's going to make him feel better. And the moment I felt my like the morphine go in and I heard my blood, I was like, I want to live in this feeling forever. This is the greatest feeling of my life.
Yeah.
And I still kind of miss it.
Yeah.
And that was years ago.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that, like, you know, it doesn't have to do with the chemicals and how it makes you feel, because of course it does. But it also has to do with the environment that you're in, because obviously if people aren't having no other source of happiness and euphoria, and like you felt, like, I mean, when I was on hydrocodone for one day, and it didn't really feel like, you know, elated happiness. I just felt kind of high and I was like dopey, but it didn't feel like good enough to where I was like, oh, I want to feel like this again. It just made me kind of sleepy and funny, but like,
I am an empty man, so.
I wasn't going to say it, but I was going to say, you know, your environment may have a hand in that, if that's the most like joy that you felt.
Yeah,
But yeah.
fair.
So anyway, let's hear about some of those twisted dreams. Let's get into it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So,
we can do it.
We can talk about.
We can
just
end
like
with one.
We can do like one or two dreams.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, Phil. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so should I do... You know what, I'm going to do one first. I keep having this reoccurring thing where it could just be like a regular dream. Like I'm hanging out with you guys. Or like, we'll be hanging out with a friend group or whatever. But if there's like a window that faces the woods, it is almost a guarantee that at some point in that dream, I'm going to look through that window, and it's going to be like that scene from Jurassic Park where the T-Rex is staring in, and then it's going to bust through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Happens it happened recently. Like, I had that dream recently where we were hanging out. It was the whole gang. Tom Holland was there for some reason.
What a guy.
And,
He has great hair.
And there was also
It's
a
great.
pixie, like, like a little...
Yeah.
And it was like trying to give me this power that I could rewind time by 20 seconds. Thought it was going to be really cool. And then, like, I saw the yellow light coming from the T-Rex's eye, and it busted through the wall, and I was like, all right, I'm going to run that way. You guys all stand still. I'm going to draw it away from everybody. And then I'm going to use that rewind thing to go back 20 seconds ago where I was. And then that way the T-Rex will just continue running.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then I woke up.
So do you ever, in your dream, get to the T-Rex, like, catching up with you?
Yes, several times.
Does it eat you?
I don't know.
What happens when it catches up to you?
It like, sometimes it eats me, sometimes it just kind of looks at me. I don't know. It's there.
Do you think the T-Rex could, like, represent something?
My love for Jurassic Park, I don't know. I mean, it's like accurate to Jurassic Park, so.
Yeah.
But if it's reoccurring, then it probably has a little bit more meaning than that. Because that means your brain is, like, thinking about it repeatedly.
I mean,
Unless you're repeatedly watching Jurassic Park, like, every couple of months or however.
Well.
I mean, that's not inaccurate.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like... it always happens whenever I have a dream involving, like, the friend group. So I'm wondering if maybe that
Maybe you feel, like, the need to protect everybody and to, like, maybe be seen as a hero a little bit.
Yeah, I could say... Because I definitely had, like, a 2-year streak where I had a dream that I was the Ghost Rider.
Is it maybe because you don't feel like you're taking charge that much in your own life?
That's kind of where I was thinking, where it's you might be hanging out with your friends, but there's this impending doom that's outside. That's, what's the word? It's going to come in. It's going to barge in at some point, and you know it.
Maybe.
Maybe it's about, like, sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
No, you're good. Keep going.
It might be, like, like, maybe there's, like, a job or there's, like, something that's just weighing on you, and at some point you're going to have to deal with this.
At some point you're going to have to make a decision, and your decision always is to sacrifice yourself, so maybe that's why you keep putting yourself in unhappy scenarios, because you're just trying to make everybody around you happy, like your friend group or like the people that you work with, where you'll just continue making those sacrifices in order to keep...
I don't give a fuck about the people I work with.
Well,
But
then why don't you
where she's
leave your
going
work?
is...
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
We're getting deep.
I mean, yeah, that's... and so the second dream is it was actually brought up in episode 6, where you confused it with a different, like, it was like a film project that you had confused. I had a week-long series of dreams where it was like, when, like, you fall asleep, you have a dream, and you wake up before the dream's over, and then you have that, like, miracle where you fall back asleep and you're right back in the dream.
Oh
That
my
only
gosh,
happens
that's the
with nightmares
best.
for me.
That's basically how this was.
Yeah.
So it starts out night 1. I was at school, like I was in high school, and I just kind of had like this ringing in my ears the whole time. And I don't know what it was. I was in a pissy ass mood, and there was a couple of kids just kind of like egging me on, just pissing me off. and I snapped. And that's where the dream ends. Is I snap, I get up and I turn around and I'm just like staring at them.
Okay.
And then wake up and then I continue my day and then I go back to sleep the next night, and in the dream it's like a news thing where it was like, yeah, you know, like basically an explosion happened or some shit and everyone is dead in the school except for me.
Wow.
And then I walk out and I just like it was like progressively throughout each dream, every night it was just that like blast radius was getting bigger and bigger and bigger,
Like killing more people?
yeah.
Okay.
And you were still the only one that survived.
I was still the only one surviving, and then I like it was by that last night I was like, man, like it's very clearly like I'm causing these explosions. Like what is going on? Like I'm causing all this death and destruction. Why? And in the final dream, I
love this.
It's
This is so nice.
It was very cinematic.
Yeah.
It sounds very cinematic, like the entire progression.
Well, it's why I wrote it down, and I was like, I want to make a script out of this. In the dream, it's mostly just like a fiery landscape, and like you see like burning cities and just like all this like fire and hellscape and whatever. And then it's just like it comes over to like this mountain of just like flaming skulls, and then on top of it is me sitting like kind of crouched over a little bit, you know, kind of like that like thinker pose.
Yeah.
And I look up and my eyes are just jet black, and then these like bat wings come out of my back. I jump in the air and I just fly off, and then I woke up and I said, holy fuck, I was the devil.
That's so fucking dope. That's haunting, but
like that dream happened my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Which was 5 years ago, almost 6.
Yeah.
And like that has haunted me since. Like it is the only dream I have ever clearly remembered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I was like, man, like I feel like I can't talk to anybody about this because like, you know, I kind of sound like a psychopath.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Like, a lot of my dreams tend to be very violent, and, like...
Yeah, your dreams are...
They scare me a lot of the times. Similar to yours, I think, where it's, like, you know, either I am the villain or I'm running from, like, a villain, basically. But what I was gonna say is, it sounds like two themes to me. Like, the whole thing about, like, snapping and everything sounded like kind of... You feel like a little bit out of control and powerless, maybe in high school at least. And like, didn't you guys do a film one time where somebody like did snap and killed some people? It was like about a cycle like that.
Well, he filmed. So
yeah. For my senior project, that was what I needed to graduate. I filmed because I was doing a whole project about like how films. God, I can't
influence school
like,
shooters.
How films influence
how they
school shooters
romanticize
and how school shooters influence just like media in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where does the cycle start and where does it end? Or is it just this like big Ouroboros where it's like this snake that's continuously eating itself?
I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole video was just like, you know, me, I was the shooter. I watched a violent movie and I was being bullied, so I turned around and I opened fire on classmates. And then they made a movie about me and like that whole story, because they were like, oh, like this is such a crazy story. And then my little brother plays another person, and then he takes influence from that to then want to continue that cycle of violence.
I think that happened in real life. Like, the first big shooting of the United States, which had, like, a documentary or movie made or something, is said to have, like, like other school shooters who either did survive or like wrote about it beforehand were talking about how it was two brothers, I think.
Are you talking about the Columbine?
Yeah, you're talking about
Yeah,
Columbine?
I think so.
No, there were two friends. I had to research this this very detailed for my project.
But a lot of like shooters were like quote unquote like said that they were inspired by them and the exposure that they got.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it also was they were bullied, and especially with the two Columbine kids, they were taking like antipsychotics or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had a history of like violence and stuff like that. So the one that they get quoted for all the time is Doom. Doom is seen...
Really? I was going to say Natural Born Killers.
Well, see, that's the thing, is like everything I've ever heard about before I did the research was Doom, was like the big, like, Doom is the reason they killed people. That's why they like canceled Doom and like all this terrible Doom stuff. And then I read it and they mention it once. And they mention that they have it planned out like the Doom video game, like the layout of the school. They literally named the event NBK in their journals as a reference to Natural Born Killers.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I researched that a little bit too, and I had a conversation about it's so insane the amount of things that were blamed, and everybody was trying to find a scapegoat. Like Marilyn Manson, that was a big one that people were blaming and saying like it was music as well. Looking at me crazy.
I forgot that Marilyn Manson was a person for a minute. I was like,
oh yeah, he's a haunting creature, and he got canceled a decent time ago. But yeah.
Well, he'd been canceled a couple times.
Well.
On that light note.
Yeah.
This episode went from like, hey, let's talk about snacks to like, yeah, so
coping
like,
mechanisms, dreams, nightmares, and school shootings. So
yeah, that's a
facing death every
solid
day.
Episode to me if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
And I've heard several.
Campbell, I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I was going to say something else, but your head is already getting too big. So
Campbell, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if I ever feel like I'm awkward around you.
No, you're good.
I've been told that I apparently am awkward around you.
I feel like that's just your personality, my dog. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think
how much liquor I've gotten me.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But no, I think you're good.
So Rolan, you gonna tell me you love me or?
No, he only saves those words for Patty.